Somehow, the room had been cleaned. When Roman lay her down, she sank into fresh, crisp sheets. Violet didn't even have the energy to wonder who did it. She just closed her eyes and let sleep pull her under. Sometime later, the dip of the mattress beside her pulled Violet from her sleep. She blinked her eyes open to find herself staring into a pair of slitted gray eyes. Even half asleep, a wide grin spread across her face. "You," she murmured. "Yeah, it's me," he murmured back. "Your one and only Asher." The Westpac Alpha leaned in, pulling her flush against his chest and breathing her in deep. Asher's chuckle was a low grumble. "I smell everything on you. Whatever soap Roman used didn't wash it away. It just mingled with yours, made it stronger." A small smile touched Violet's lips. She reached up to cup his face, her thumb stroking his cheek. "Thank you." Violet wasn't stupid. She saw the sacrifices he was always making for her, again and again. Asher placed his hand over hers, pressing it to his skin. "It's nothing. Get some sleep. You've got a long day tomorrow." Violet didn't argue. She leaned into him, her eyes drifting closed as she settled into the solid comfort of his arms. As she slept, Asher watched her, his gaze tracing the lines of her face. "For you, my purple queen," he whispered against her hair. "I'd burn the world down." He closed his eyes, a rare moment of peace settling over him. But nothing good lasts forever. As they slept, neither of them saw it. The small, translucent caterpillar, pulsing with a faint inner light, had materialized from thin air. It crawled silently over Asher's hair, then slipped unnoticed into his ear. Asher shot upright. A phantom crawling sensation slithering through his skull. His sudden movement startled Violet awake, her vision blurry. "What is it?" she mumbled. Asher was sure he'd felt something, but he shook his head, the feeling already fading. "It's nothing. Go back to sleep." They lay back down. Content in his arms, Violet snuggled closer and closed her eyes again. She missed the flicker of violet light that flared in Asher's irises just before his own lids slid shut. "Harder, faster, control, deflect!" Asher's voice rang through the clearing as Violet drilled the moves he'd taught her that morning. Well, he'd taught them. Victoria was here too, only she was playing the part of a test subject. Violet couldn't risk unleashing her power on her mates, but the former Queen of Asteria was another story. And honestly, she was kind of enjoying it. The silver lining was that even if Violet lost control, Victoria could take the hit. That made the exiled queen the perfect punching bag. They ran through the drill again and again. Violet struck, channeling just enough of her power to keep it tight and contained. Control. She upped her speed, adjusted her pace to meet Victoria's counters, then reset. Again. They repeated it faster and stronger this time. Asher didn't let up. "Don't hesitate! Move, move!" Magic flared between them, volatile. But Violet held it, shaping and directing it with each strike, growing more precise than the last. Victoria met her head-on, deflecting, redirecting, and pushing back just enough to keep Violet on her toes. They went on like that, layering movement with power, instinct with control, until she didn't even realize it anymore. She was wielding the darkness, not fighting it, not fearing it. She was using it like a weapon. A brush of that power grazed Victoria during a parry, but nothing happened. Because even in the heat of the moment, Violet held the line. As insufferable as the Fae was, she still didn't want her dead. Roman and Griffin stood at the edge of the clearing, watching. As hard as she tried to focus, Violet found herself stealing glances at them. They were impressed. She could see it on their faces. And a spark of pride ignited in her chest. Fueled by their approval, her movements grew more fluid, more confident, even a little cocky. She knew the rhythm now, the routine. It was starting to feel like second nature, which was exactly why Asher suddenly yelled. Abandon the drill! Fight! The command cut through the air. Violet barely had time to brace herself before Victoria's attack lashed out. A blade of condensed darkness slicing toward her side. A shield of darkness snapped up at her command. And the impact rattled her bones. That evil Fae. To think she'd actually pretended to care about her. All bets were off. Don't block! Redirect! Asher barked. Gritting her teeth, Violet shifted. The shield bent, curving to let the attack slide past her instead of stopping it dead. The strike hit the ground behind her and exploded in a burst of shadows. She didn't get a second to breathe. Victoria came at her again, faster this time. No warning, no mercy. Good. Violet met her head-on, darkness flaring around her hand, tightly controlled. She lunged, aiming for Victoria's shoulder, but the Fae twisted, catching her wrist mid-motion. You're slow, princess, Victoria said flatly. Violet snarled and pivoted, sweeping her leg low, but Victoria leaped back just in time. Better, Asher said. Now faster. Violet launched forward again, pushing more power into her strike. Not too much, just enough. Control. The darkness wrapped around her arm like a living thing, responding to her will as she drove it toward Victoria with lethal precision. Victoria met it with her own magic, shadows colliding with darkness. The air cracked as their powers broke apart. For now, they were evenly matched, but Victoria knew the truth. Violet was only scratching the surface of what she could do. With the same amount of training, she could be unstoppable. Again, Asher ordered. Violet attacked, again and again, each time faster, stronger. Damn, Roman whistled from the sidelines. Asher's not holding back today. Our mate's on fire. The trial is in 2 days, Griffin pointed out. She's training like her life depends on it, because it does. And the Asher we know, he'll push her to the absolute limit. He sighed. Oh, we can only hope he doesn't break her in the process. Roman didn't argue, his gaze drifting back to the fight. Traces of magic now lingered in the air like smoke. Violet's breathing was growing heavy, but she couldn't stop. Not with her mates watching. Not with Victoria pushing her. Don't hesitate, Asher barked. You pause, you die. I'm not pausing. Violet shot back, deflecting another strike. You're thinking, he corrected coldly. Stop it. Victoria smirked. He's right, little princess. You're predictable when you think. Oh, shut up, Violet snapped, lunging. This time, she led with instinct, not power. Her body was moving before her brain caught up. She faked left, and Victoria shifted to counter. Wrong move. Violet redirected instantly, her darkness snapping out from the other side and catching the Fae completely off guard. It wrapped around Victoria's ankle like a whip and flung her hard to the ground. Victoria groaned as she hit the dirt, the breath knocked out of her. For a split second, Violet froze. Shit. What did I just do? But aside from the groan, Victoria seemed fine. Sentient bastard, she cursed, still sprawled on the ground. Nice work, Asher said, his eyes fixed on Violet. She shook her head. I didn't know I could do that. I could have hurt her. You'll discover you're capable of a lot of things with training, Asher explained calmly. But the important part is, you did it. Yeah, Victoria said, rolling her shoulders as she sat up. Not bad, princess. You didn't kill me. Give me time. Violet scowled. Victoria's lips curved into a smirk. Looking forward to it. Violet shook her head in disbelief. The Fae was nuts. She turned to Asher, and he gently cupped her face in his hands. You were amazing today, my love. Oh. A blush crept up Violet's neck. Ahem. She cleared her throat. And you're an amazing teacher. She kicked at a loose stone, suddenly shy. Ugh, gross. Victoria made a face as she pushed herself to her feet. I'm out of here. Neither Asher nor Violet even noticed her leave. They were already locked in a deepening kiss. the sound of which was probably going to haunt Victoria's nightmares.